Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's abbreviated service with Reverend Smitty. If we could all please put our hands together for silent meditation led by Reverend Smitty.
May there be peace in the world, and may the Buddhist teaching spread. Namo Amida Butts, Namo Amida Butts, Namanda, 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 Namanda.
We're going to start today off by chanting Jusei Ge. So please open your service books to page 35.
Chosegan Hishimu Jodo Shigan Fumanzo Seifu Joshoga Gao Muryoko Fui Dai Seshu Fusai Shobingu Seifu Joshogak Gashi Jobundo Myosho Chojipo Kukyo Mishomon Seifu Joshogak Ryokujin Shonen Jo Eshu Bongyo Shigumu Jodo Isho Teninshi Jinriki Endaiko Fusho Musaido Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakunan Kai Hichi Egen Meshikon Moan Heisokusho Akudo Tsudaten Zen Shumon Koso Jomanzok Iyoro Jipo Nichigaten Shujuki Tenko Onpugen Ishukai Hozo Koseku Dokuho Jo Dai Shuchu Seppo Shishiku Kuyo Isai Butsu Gusoku Shutoku Hon Gane Shinjo Man Toku Isangai O Nyo Buten Mugechi Tsudaten Mi Husho Gangaku shoson shiganya koka daisen o kando koku shotenin to chin myoke Shikudoku Yodo Seisai Dohoden Bodai Shin Ojo Gasho Namanda 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 Namanda.
Thank you. Now Reverend Smitty will give a Dharma message.
Good morning. A couple things happened since I entered the Onaijin. One is that several more people came today. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And secondly, the chairperson changed. But it's still the same service, don't worry. Please join me in Gasho. May the light of all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion guide our thoughts, words, and actions along the difficult journey to peace. Namo Medabits, Namanda, 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 Namanda. So, today on what is the eve of Memorial Day 2026, we find our country once again entangled in war rather than flourishing in peace. And you might say that this is a small or limited war, and even the current administration uses terms such as military operation, military campaign, decisive action, and kinetic military action in order to avoid that term war. But no matter how limited or small this military action is, we're undoubtedly waging war and not waging peace. You know, the World War II general and former US President Dwight D. Eisenhower once stated, "I hate war as only a soldier who has lived it can, only as one who has seen its brutality, its futility, its stupidity." And as a Navy veteran, I would only substitute the word service member for soldier and say that I wholeheartedly agree. You know, in the ongoing Operation Epic Fury against Iran, we've had 13 American service members killed and over 500 wounded. The US and Israeli intelligence sources say that over 6,000 Iranian soldiers and more than 1,700 Iranian civilians have been killed. And while some argue over the use of the terms war or military operation, this is not a small war, limited war, or military action to the families of the service members who have died. This is just war in all its brutality, its futility, and its stupidity. So this weekend, Memorial Day, it commemorates those who have lost their lives serving our country. And originally it acknowledged deaths that were a result of war, but now it includes anyone who dies while serving on active military duty. And this year we must remember to include those service members who have given their lives in support of Operation Epic Fury, in addition to all the military members who have died serving this nation since its inception 250 years ago. They've traded their lives for our freedom, democracy, unalienable human rights, and liberties that we all cherish. In that this is not only the 250th anniversary of the signing of the U.S. Declaration of Independence, but also the 100th anniversary of the founding of our temple, I began to think of the word legacy. Legacy, of course, is a noun, and since you're not the Dharma school kids, I'm not going to ask you to define it for me. It is defined, however, as money or property given to another through a will, or perhaps something handed down from an ancestor or predecessor, or from the past itself, as in a legacy of religious freedom. So what's the legacy that's been handed down to us by our temple or spiritual ancestors? Is it this building? Or is it something greater than that? You know, yes, their legacy to us does include this Market Street property, but it also includes the history, the values, the teachings, the traditions, and the transmission of the Dharma. We enjoy their legacy in the services that we hold, the celebrations we have, the Dharma school classes we conduct, the lectures we listen to, the funerals and memorials we gather for, the dana we give, the potlucks we share, the cultural events that we participate in, the banadoris we dance at, and even the meetings we conduct. Our temple or spiritual ancestors from 100 years ago and all the years since have gifted us the legacy of the Nembutsu teachings. This September will commemorate our centennial, and those who came before us are now within the light of Amida Buddha that illuminates our lives, showing us who we truly are. They're illuminating the Nembutsu path for us to follow, guiding us every day. They're the foundation on which our temple and all the other temples in BCA were built. On this 100th anniversary, it's not our duty to just celebrate or recall those who came before us. It's our duty to build on that legacy which has been gifted to us and ensure that all who will follow will receive the same generous gift. We must express our gratitude for the legacy of the Nembutsu teachings by ensuring that this temple will endure for another 100 years. Now, what does it have to do with Memorial Day? Well, those who gave their lives while serving in our nation's military forces also leave a legacy to us, as well as to all Americans. Earlier I mentioned religious freedom. Those who serve in the U.S. Armed Forces swear an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Freedom of religion is guaranteed by the First Amendment, in part which reads, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof." And this means that our government cannot establish an official state religion, endorse a particular faith, or even favor the practice of religion over the practice of no religion. It also means individuals have an absolute right to hold whatever religious beliefs they choose, and the government generally cannot interfere with how they practice that faith. To us as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, we're free to live the Nembutsu life without being persecuted or prosecuted for doing so, or being forced to follow some other religious teachings. That legacy of religious freedom was gifted by those who founded the U.S. and is defended by those who gave their lives in service to this nation. So this Memorial Day, we can and should take some time to recognize the fact that our own lives are sustained by the sacrifices of others. We can and should acknowledge that other sentient beings gave their own lives to sustain our lives and our way of life. Perhaps this Monday we can take a break from our Memorial Day shopping and barbecuing to recall those military members who can no longer join us in this start of summer fun. Perhaps we can pause for just a minute or two to return to the true meaning of Memorial Day, paying honor to those U.S. Armed Forces members who have gone before us, giving of themselves for the sake of others. So this Memorial Day, let's pause to express our gratitude for the legacy of the Nembutsu teachings gifted to us by our temple founders and defended by military members who have given their lives for our freedoms. Please join me again in Gasho. May the light of all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion guide our thoughts, words, and actions along the difficult journey toward peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.
Thank you, Reverend Smitty, for your prescient message. It reminds us to have gratitude for the past while living in the now. Please stand if you're able to for the singing of Ondok Son 2, which is found on page 128. Thank you. Please remain standing for the recitation of our pledge found on the insert. Breaking out of my shell, I will share a warm smile and speak gentle words, just like the kind Buddha. Not becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance, I shall think and act with an open mind, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I will share in the joy and sadness of others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life I have received, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who tirelessly works to liberate all. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandas, Namandas, Namandas. Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. Do we have any announcements?
This is to remind everybody that the temple will be having its bazaar on June 7th. We are still looking for volunteers. There is a sign-up sheet downstairs in the hallway, so please sign up. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Lorene. I am helping on the plant booth. Jason is our illustrious chairperson along with John McAlpine. And we were wondering if you could help us out. There's a couple of things we're looking for. We're hoping to gather about 20 of these. These are from the udon. With permission, I'm going to leave a box that says plant booth. So if you have some of these, we're trying to collect about 20. They're for flower arrangements. The other big thing, I don't have an example, I'm looking for those florist sticks where they put a card. And so if you have some of those, we would love that. Another thing you could help us out with, if you have some vases, pots, and especially if you have like kind of quirky looking containers, like years ago somebody donated, this is Chip from Beauty and the Beast, and I've had a plant in it, and we're probably going to put this was actually a music box. So if you have like quirky looking pots, vases, we're looking for that. We could use a few more of these. If you have some of these kind of covering things, that would be great. And thank you very much. I'll put my name and phone number if you have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. For the 100th anniversary, I have 2 requests. Okay, one, we're looking for Ochigo Parade participation, and these are for little kids. Sorry, no, none of the adults. So I have the form here. So this is like from a preschool child to, or I don't know if we have any baby costumes, but from a preschool child up to maybe 4th grade. I have forms with me, so if you want to think about your either your grandchild or your daughters, sons, like that, you want them to participate, come and see me. I have those forms. Second is we have the Hoppy Coat order forms. So if you want that, please come see me in the conference room. That way you can, we have one, and you can try it on and see if it fits, and then there's other sizes too as well. We even have sizes for little kids, youth sizes, so we don't have a sample for that one. But just come and see the sample that we have, the size sample, okay? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Actually, I have a little bit of a doom and gloom announcement, so I want to start off with some positive things. I am nominally the chair of the plant booth, but I got to say, Lorene and John do so much work. So I want to thank them for all of the text messages and dragging stuff around and ideas. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. And I also want to point out my kids here. I really appreciate that they woke up and came here to play music with me. You know, Penelope's been playing saxophone for about a month. Yeah, right? And Benjamin's the same. He's been playing bass for not very long, so. So those are my positive things. Now the negative stuff. I don't know, over the last week, I think most of us probably got an email alerting us that someone had been phishing members of the temple. What phishing means that they are targeting emails to us from a trusted source. In this case, it is Reverend Davenport. And so I wanted to get up here, and I'm going to kind of spin a conspiracy theory here, and I want you to believe this. It feels to me that the Jodo Shinshu community, because of the demographic and the age, is being targeted by a lot of scammers. And we don't have to look far afield to come across people that we personally know who have lost everything. And I mean literally everything, all of their life savings and their home and everything. And so I want everyone to really, really be on their toes when someone reaches out to you and they're asking for money or gift cards or personal information. Just say no. We all know each other here, right? If someone reaches out and they purport to be me or Penelope or Reverend Davenport and they want something from you, just ignore it. If it's so important, you will see us in person and you can ask in person. These scammers are super good at what they do. It's very difficult to spot every single one of them. And so instead of trying to differentiate between who's a scammer and who's not a scammer, just assume that every online interaction you have is a scam. Talk to us in person. Whoever it is. I'm using my name because I know myself, but whoever's out there, if it's somebody that you think you know and they're asking you for something, just ignore it. So this is my PSA, and I'm sorry, I know it's kind of a downer thing, but it seems like so many folks in the temple are getting, in the broader Jodo Shinshu community, are being taken advantage of. So please, please be on your toes. If you think you're being scammed, just come and talk to somebody. We're not going to judge you or be upset at you. Come talk to us. If you think you know somebody who's getting scammed, come talk to somebody. It doesn't have to be me. It can be anybody in temple. Just let us know. It's not going to make anyone upset. We're not going to look down on you or that person. This is really just about protecting everyone in the community. So thank you so much for listening to my rant.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to announce one last time for the rental family, which is going to be next Sunday. So if you would like to see the movie is free, but the BWA is making teriyaki meatball bowls and teriyaki tofu bowls for $5, and that will be sold at the movie. I think it starts at 1 o'clock, right? And it was on the recommendation of Reverend Davenport that we see this movie. So I hope you'll come and see it. Also, on Friday, BWA will be prepping for the sushi. So if you'd like to see what goes on when we make the sushi, please come. It'll be Friday at 9:30. And then also, we will be rolling the sushi on Sunday morning from 6:45 in the morning. So if you'd like to see that process, please come. And also Saturday, I think the rest of the Bazaar Committee will be prepping other items. So please come. I think that's at 9:30 also on Saturday. Okay, thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I think the sushi rolling demonstration by the BWA will be the weekend of the bazaar. So I believe that'll be on Friday the 5th, and then the making of the sushi on the 7th, June 7th. You know, with it being the Memorial Weekend, the temple is involved with many events in observance of the Memorial holiday. Yesterday there was a about 5 of us. We traveled to the Imperial Valley along with Reverend Davenport. And thank you to Kurt Yasuhara for providing transportation and Sensei conducted cemetery services at Calexico, El Centro, and the Brawley cemeteries, remembering the Japanese communities from those areas. It was very moving, and we had a couple first-timers who went, and Roger and Mayumi, and they attended. They really enjoyed the event. And we also visited the Pioneers Museum in Imperial, and there it's they have a exhibit there, a gallery, Japanese gallery of those immigrants who made their livelihoods in the Imperial Valley. Later on this afternoon at 1 o'clock, we'll be heading out to Fort Rosecrans for a short memorial service out there. So if anyone's interested in attending, please let us know, and we'll probably carpool out there at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow is the Community Memorial Day service at Mount Hope Cemetery, starting at 9:30 a.m. in the Japanese section of the cemetery. So look forward to seeing those who are able to attend. And then Reverend Davenport will lead the Buddhist service for that. And then later in the afternoon, later that morning at 11:30, there'll be a service at the Cypress View mortuary in the Japanese section for the Buddhist service. And then lastly, the Southern District Conference is coming up on June 13th. And today's the last day if you would like to register for early registration. If you'd like to register, there's a sign-up sheet downstairs in the office. It's a good opportunity for our Sangha to go to these events. 2 years ago, we hosted it, and it was a really successful event. This year, it's going to be hosted at the Senshin Buddhist Temple in Los Angeles, and Reverend Dr. Mark Unno, Professor of Religious Studies at the University of Oregon, will be the keynote speaker, and then Reverend Yukari Tori from the San Fernando Honganji Buddhist Temple will give the Japanese sermon. But if you'd like to attend, please do so. It's good. It's nice for us to travel to Los Angeles to visit with our Sangha friends at the temples up in Los Angeles, share ideas, and make connections. So if you're interested, please sign up. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think you can be lonely and be a member of this community. So, quick recap, because that was a lot of things. Well, we're almost done with our quick service today. We'll have hospitality. If anybody's interested, you can meet with Reverend Smitty for service today at Fort Rosecrans. Tomorrow there's another service. That's the one at Mount Hope, I think. And then on next Sunday, the BWA is having Rental Family. So if anybody wants to watch that movie. And then the following weekend, June 5, 6, 7, Cultural Bazaar, big deal in our community. Everybody please come out and help. Just being there will be helpful too. And if you don't want to help with a booth or prepping sushi or doing the plant booth or helping at the snack bar for the Dharma school students, please bring money. Spend your money here. Lots and lots of money. Lots of fun things to be had at the silent auction and the raffle. Also, if you haven't picked up your raffle tickets, you can do that. And then, so the June 13th, Saturday, just like Ralph said, there is the Southern District Conference in LA. And then on Sunday, June 14, does anyone want to learn how to make sourdough bread with Reverend Davenport? You can go home with 2 sourdough starters, right? So that's another thing to sign up for. Are there others? Okay. And also, let's see, scam reminder, if somebody's asking you for something and they're making it seem urgent, put the brakes on, talk to people in person. There's probably nothing that's that urgent that you need to divulge all your personal information. Okay, so see how exciting it is here? We're so busy. Okay, so now please put your hands together for closing music meditation. If one walks looking far ahead and pays no attention to the ground beneath his eyes, he will stumble. If one gazes critically upon others and forgets to look into himself, he will bring tragedy upon himself. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Ndabutsu, Namandaz, Namandaz, Namandaz. On behalf of the Schmidt family and the Buddhist Temple of San Diego, thank you so much for attending today's service. You may now offer incense.